Welcome to All Things Finance in just a few minutes, and in this week's edition, we will be covering the Monthly Budget Tracker Volume 4. Now, last week, we left off on categorizing our expenses here. As you continue to update the remaining months of the year, and you continue to build out this expense labeling category, this next update is going to help you view your expenses by month. So let's go to the Summary tab. So what this expense tracking section does, it takes all of your expenses, whether it's related to your bank account charges or the transactions based on the categories that you've labeled for your credit card expenses. We then used a formula called SumIfs to summarize all the expenses on each respective month's tab to present those expenses here for ease of review. So then what we have in columns AE is the total of all the expenses throughout the year. In column AF is simply the average expense throughout the year. And then in column AG is the average per week spent throughout the year. Now columns AE through AG help me to identify the expenses that can be reduced, therefore helping me grow my net income per month. Since columns AE through AG are formulated to pick up all the data entered in January through December months, if we were to say update January with any number, for example $400, then we see our calculation here is updated. So as you continue to update your April, May, June months, these calculations to the right will update automatically. As we've done at the end of any session, let's roll over the March tab to April. So simply right click, click duplicate, update the tab name from March to April, update our beginning balance to pull from the March ending balance instead of February, do the same thing to the savings account. Our check is 0. Same thing for our savings account. You know that you're not missing any amounts. Your capital is calculated. Your debt, you will skip for now, or you will update that to be what that number is. Our net worth is calculated. Our 6-month reserve, calculated. Our projections, calculated. So the last step, we expand all the months. We hide everything except for April. And we simply copy the formula in the March tab to April and update March in the formula to pull from April tab. And once we update the formula, we copy paste this down. We'll also change it here as well. And I will go into my April tab and I will update one item just to make sure that we're getting the correct ending balance. So as you see, I've just changed my water bill to $100. Now $14.70 is being pulled from the April tab C43. So we go to C43, $14.70. We have no difference. So this expense tracking section has truly helped me to analyze my expenses from month to month and see where I can cut back on spending to grow my monthly net income. So if you're working in version 1, 2, or 3 and you have done this expense bucketing here and you would like to update your summary tab with this expense tracking section, just as we've done with any other update, simply copy the entire box and paste it into cell Q2. Now we have to do a little bit of formatting to get this into place, so let's just do that quickly. Okay, now the reason we see NAs in the April column is because there is no April tab here. If we were to roll over the March tab to April, then you would see those appropriate amounts being brought in. So let's just do that for illustrative purposes here. And I update this to April. And I go to my summary tab. Now we see that the formula is being brought in correctly, and we simply update March to April, and I see that everything is being brought in correctly. So I go to April, I just change one amount. I see that this is being brought in correctly. My check is 0. So please format this in any way you like. And then you can also hide all the unused columns. And everything seems to be working correctly. So there you are. Now your version 3, 2, or 1 is updated to version 4. The last update is to copy your March formula down to April, update the formula. This is pulling in from L26, 2334, 2334, and also update your current net worth. Copy the formula from March to April and update the tab name. This is pulling from L41, 7,666. Okay, so everything's updated. Now you can begin reviewing and looking over your finances. You can make changes to your expense allocation to increase your monthly net income. So that's about it for this week. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next week.